Greetings, fellow hunters. Well, World of Look at Supernatural Season 5 now concludes with the final episode of Season 5, Swan Song. All out of options, Dean Witches reluctantly agrees on letting Sam be the host for Lucifer so that he can show up in Lucifer's cage. Remembering Lucifer said to Dean in the future, they'll locate him in Detroit. Sam makes Dean promise that if things go as planned, he'll make a life for himself with Lisa Braden. After consuming gallons of demon blood, Sam and Dean allow themselves to be caught by demons and brought to Lucifer. After demonstrating his enhanced powers to kill the demons in the room, Sam consents for Lucifer to possess his body. It is then that Lucifer reveals that he knows that the horseman's rings form the keys to his cage, and that he is wary of the boy's plan to trick him inside. Nevertheless, he agrees to possess Sam and let him try to retain control of his body. After Lucifer enters Sam, he is knocked unconscious, and Jacob throws the key to the cage on the wall and opens it with a spell. After waking up Sam, he watches him preparing to enter the pit, but instead Lucifer then reveals that he overpowered Sam in a matter of seconds. He then closes the portal, puts the key into his pocket, and quickly disappears. Outside, Dean meets back with Bobby and Castiel, and they observe various natural disasters on television that are occurring around the world. Knowing that Lucifer tried to seek out Michael for their final battle, the call checked to get the exact setting for the fight, known as Stoll Cemetery in Lawrence, Kansas. Elsewhere, Lucifer is reveling in his new vessel while addressing Sam, who is still fighting him from the inside. He tells Sam that he only wants what's best for him, and he offers to spare Dean after the world is destroyed. In a show of goodwill, he brings several people from Sam's past, including a former teacher of his and a prom date, to tell Sam that they were all possessed by demons working for Azazel in order to manipulate him. He then offers Sam revenge on them, and then asks him afterward if he enjoyed it. Lucifer seen standing in the cemetery while Michael, who now possesses Adam, arrives. When Lucifer tries to dissuade him from fighting, Michael, although he seriously considers it for a moment, regretfully tells him that he must do so because God wishes it. Before they get away, Dean, Castiel, and Bobby arrive on scene, and Castiel throws a Molotov cocktail of holy oil on Michael, forcing him to temporarily vanish. Lucifer, outraged at Castiel's action, blows him up with a snap of his fingers, then snaps Bobby's neck after he's shot with a revolver. Dean repeatedly appeals to Sam to overpower Lucifer, who responds by severely beating him until he's barely conscious. However, as he presses Dean against the side of the Impala, ready to deliver another blow, he pauses as he catches sight of a plastic army man in the ashtray of one of the doors. This triggers memories of Sam's childhood and various warm moments with Dean, which allows Sam to finally overpower Lucifer. Sam assures Dean that he has Lucifer and opens the cage with Horseman's rings, when Michael suddenly returns. He says that he won't let it end the way Sam wants it to, so he must fight his brother and charges at him to stop. Sam, now in control, pulls Michael with him into the cage and the portal closes. Dean watches in despair, losing his loved ones. Castiel then reappears to tell us confused Dean he was resurrected by God and promoted with new powers. He then heals Dean's wounds and resurrects the deceased Bobby. As they drive home, Castiel mentions that with Michael gone, he attempts to take charge of heaven, likely anarchy without Michael. Dean tells Castiel that if he runs into God, to tell him that he is his next target. Castiel remarks that Dean's angry. Dean completes ahead and been properly rewarded by God, reminding that Sam's still stuck in the cage. Castiel reminds him that he got what he desired, no paradise or hell, just more of the same. Castiel then disappears. Dean leaves Bobby and heads for Lisa's house where she gladly welcomes him in. Meanwhile, Chuck, who has been narrating the entire story while writing on his computer, smiles as he brings it into his story, only to say that nothing ever really ends, does it? He then vanishes into thin air with a smile, wearing a white shirt instead of his usual drab clothes. Outside of Lisa's house, a street light outside goes out and Sam is shown standing beneath it, watching Dean through the window. Dun dun dun. So let's take a look at some continuity from this episode. God previously appeared in the real Ghostbusters. This episode marks the final appearance until season 15 of Adam Milligan and Michael. Adam's mentioned in Appointment in Samara and fan fiction. An ultra-reality version of Michael makes an appearance in season 13. Chuck does spring foreshadows his status as God. Chuck reveals his true identity and Don't Call Me Shirley. Dean asks Cass if he was God foreshadows the plot of season 6. This is the second time Castiel has been killed by an archangel. The first time was by Raphael in Lucifer Rising. Dean telling Castiel to let God know he's coming for him foreshadows the season 14 finale. Chuck's and Winchester's begun himself his own game, which besides the revelation that Chuck was playing them the whole time. And now let's take a look at some trivia from this episode. Excuse me. This episode has the highest user ratings on IMDb of the entire series. Out of 6,038 votes, this episode received a 9.7 rating. Bobby dies for the first time on screen. Azazel, John Winchester, Meg, Zechariah, and other characters are seen in Sam's flashbacks. This episode was intended to be the series finale. However, due to the ratings, Supernatural was renewed for a sixth season. Swan Song refers to the finale of something, the final act. In this case, it refers to the last episode of the season and the final fight before the ending of the apocalypse. Lucifer quotes some lyrics to the famous Charlie Daniels song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia, and he tells Sam, "A fiddle of gold against your soul says I'm better than you." The real lyric is, "I'll bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, because I think I'm better than you." Chuck answering the phone hoping it was Mistress Magda may be a reference to Mary Magdalene, a disciple of Jesus Christ in the New Testament, that some believed to be a prostitute or even the wife of Jesus, a theory made famous by the book The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Lucifer returns as a hallucination in Season 7. He later skips the cage in the Season 11 episode The Devil in the Details. Lucifer is showing Sam all the people in his life who were really agents of Azazel watching him. He refers to Sam's prom date, Rachel. In What Is and What Should Never Be, Dean said to have slept with Sam's prom date, Rachel Nave, on prom night. Dean's line about Sam's cell making Zoe look like Graceland is a reference to the mansion that Elvis Presley died in. Dean's line, "I have a bad feeling about this," may be a reference to Star Wars, in which the line is repeated many times. Aircraft originally pitched the show as Star Wars and Truck Stop America. The series is further referenced in this episode when Dean calls Bobby Yoda, and Lucifer calls Sam young Skywalker. Chuck states that the Apollo rolled off the assembly on April 24th, 1967. April 24th is Eric Kripke's birthday. The name of the Apollo's first owner is Sal Moriarty, a reference to Sal Paradise and Dean Moriarty, the main characters in the novel On the Road. Stowe Cemetery is a real cemetery near Lawrence, Kansas, where Sam and Dean were born, and has a lot of real-life lore associated with it, including the belief that it could be a gate to hell. The tape Dean loads into the set deck of the Apollo as he drives into Stowe Cemetery is labeled with Kidman's signature line, "Kick it in the ass." It's a 12-hour drive from Detroit, Michigan to Lawrence, Kansas. And now finally, let's take a look at some errors. In When the Levee Breaks, Casper made the following statement that consumption of high quantities of demon blood required to kill Lilith would change him into a demon, which God rectified in sympathy for the devil. However, in this episode, Sam consumed significantly higher amounts of demon blood to host Lucifer and didn't transform into a demon. At first inspection, the counterweight could be administered that Sam couldn't be turned into a demon because he didn't have a soul to convert. Further assessment illegitimizes this on the grounds that Sam's transformation into a demon after killing Lilith was instantaneous. Except this is not error at all because Sam only started turning into a demon while using his powers to kill Lilith. Now in this episode, he drinks the demon blood to be able to host Lucifer when he gets rid of some goons, not having reason or opportunity to use his powers. Except, Casso specifically stated that the amount, not the intention behind it, would drastically change Sam forever into a monster that Dean would feel compelled to kill. And furthermore, the amount was significantly larger to host Lucifer compared to the amount to kill Lilith, with him calling it a Swan Song way more than he ever drunk before. So overall, this is a really darn good episode, and while it's not the series finale, it is a good season finale, so yeah. So overall, I give Swan Song 5 Impalas out of 5. Well, hope you enjoyed this look at Supernatural Season 5. I know I sure did. Anyway, to next year as Supernatural Summer 2026 will kick off with Exile on Main Street. And also, next month is going to be Arrowverse 2025, and we will be looking at, well, I forget which season we're going to be looking at. I think it's Season 5, maybe, I'm not quite sure, but we'll get to that when we get to that, so yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next year, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.